evening, everyone. Welcome to our next episode of Saturday Tea Night. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, doing
Pretty
great.
good.
It's an
Pretty
honor to
good. Pretty
be here.
good.
That's good. That's the
Yes,
spirit. Please, everyone, share the live and also invite your friends. Send the link to your friend because tonight we have a very exciting, interesting topic. Um, Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here with us tonight. Our mission at Mama Wellness is to inspire a healthier family by empowering mom with tape, resource, and support pre and post conception. Tonight we have three special guests with us because fatherhood is changing. It's always changing in our modern society. That's why it's important to for that to be supportive and also to share the parenthood load. Um, can you guys please present yourself and let everyone know what your name and just you guys got it.
yes. So my name is Angelique Belizier. I'm a father of two girls.
Hey, my name is Kervin. I am a father of one beautiful girl. I am also a single father.
Hi, my name is Gene. I am a father of three beautiful girls, and I am married to Evely Love, one of the co-hosts of the show.
Yes, welcome again. I have an important question tonight. It's being a supportive father. What does it mean to you guys?
Yes. So a supportive father to me, it's everything. It changes a man's life. It gives them a different perspective about life. It changes everything. It's the best thing you could be. It's a father.
I totally agree with that. Like, I think a father should be there for a kid. Is the role model, basically the role model for a kid as they're growing up.
Always changing in our modern.
They're always watching us as we're
It
growing up.
gives them a different perspective about life. It's a
Um,
man's life.
Sorry, that's my phone.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's all right.
I was trying to share the live. That's what happened.
It
Yes,
is-
please, guys, do so.
yeah, I feel like a father should be the one that's instill the values and show the child how to be responsible. And for me, having girls, I want my kids, the way I look at my wife, their husband or whoever they end up with, to treat them with respect and treat them with the same values that I have for my wife, basically.
Absolutely. That's the same as Jane said and Menj said as well. Being that supportive father it's important. It's an important role in everyone's life. It's an important role in society, just to support your kid, to bring your kid, to show your kid like what the expectation should be, is in regards to being disciplined, how to address certain situations, how to handle certain things. So with that, that support that we bring as men into our children's life, whether it's a girl or a boy, it's very important that we're there.
That's really good. So good to know. I have a question for you, Angelique. What are some traits you believe like a successful father should have?
So yes, so I do believe there are five important traits that a father should have. I do believe in leadership, spiritual leadership. Are you visionary? Do you have the drive, the goal to set goals and achieve them? Those are very important traits that a father should have. The second trait I do believe that a father should have is foundation. All day, do you set boundaries because you're the foundation of the house? Do you set disciplines and rules? Whenever there is an argument, is it Do we set rules to not talk to each other for certain hours or certain time? Or the kids have rules. Is there a time that they go to bed? Those are foundations and rules that a successful father should have in order to run his house properly. The third one that a father should have is attention. As a father, are you paying attention? Some fathers doesn't pay attention. They go to work, they come home, they tired, and they just go to bed. So they don't know, they don't see if the child is sad. Maybe they had a bad day in school. Who's gonna talk to them? As a father, it's although mom is there too, but it's also your responsibility to ask questions. When you're home, are you on your phone too much? Are you watching too much TV and not paying attention to what's going on? So there's third. The fourth, I think that's really great as a father, is the source. You are the source, and what makes the kids do A+ in school? That's a big issue. Are they doing A+ because they're scared of us? Because they're scared they're gonna get punished. Is the wife looking pretty for us because you know what I'm saying? Because we like it a certain way, or what are we doing that's bringing the best out of everybody around us? The kids are bringing A+ because I love daddy so much. And I'm making the effort to make him happy. Mom goes out and get her hair done every other Saturday to look pretty because the husband is just doing what he's supposed to do to motivate his wife to do that. Although it does cost money, but it is good, right? It is
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
it is a good thing.
And I totally believe
That's
that.
what I see. So
Absolutely.
these are and then the fifth one, are we living by examples? We tell our husband, the kids, not to smoke, but we doing it. We tell the kids no tattoos, but we full of tattoos. So it's are we living by examples? So I think those five traits are great. If you're gonna be a successful father, if you have those five, then you're great. You're good. You're on a good path.
I hear you. What do
Absolutely.
you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's everyone has their different upbringing. I think it's from my perspective, being a single father, it's very important that there's communication between your child and your child's mother. It's very important that the lines of communication is there. It's very important that anything that doesn't have to do with the child, your feelings or whatever transpired with the reasons why you guys are not together, that should not have any effect on the child. I'm blessed to have a very good child's mother. She's very supportive. She's in the child's life. She does everything that she has to do, and I do everything that I have to do. So it's I think it's very important that that the child is put there. Because when we were younger, when we grew up, in some cases, as a child, when you're growing up, you can't say certain things to your parents. You say something, that's it. You're in trouble. But
Right.
it took some time for me to learn that, hey, that by doing that, that actually takes away their voice. You have to allow your child to be able to speak. You have to allow your child to be able to express themselves.
Yes.
Because in this day and age, you want them to have a voice.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely agree with that one. What about you, Jane? What do you think?
Um, I'm a firm believer in like the term "happy wife, happy life." I believe when a family has like positive vibes, and yeah, when a family has positive vibes and the experience of parenthood, I know it's not easy. I mean, I'm saying like basically with the I believe when a family has positive vibes, the experience of parenthood is not as easy. It is as easy as going. I'm sorry, I keep saying not. It is as easy as going because the mom's happy and the kids are happy and the dad's happy too. So, granted, I have like three ladies and I want them, like I said previously, I want them to be like with the same values. Like the way I treat my wife, I want her to be happy. I want them to be with someone that's gonna make them happy.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about like pushing on like what's your vibes, your personality. And granted, you have bad days at home. When you come home, try not to bring that home. Like ask your family how they're doing. They have lives too, so you got to figure out how they're doing as well. You
Right.
can't be all about you.
Right.
Yeah, because basically, I'm not saying your life is over once you become a dad. Like some dads feel like they
Right.
can't party and turn up anymore, and
Run.
they used to, but you still can. But
Right. But also too, when you have a bad day at work too, your wife is also, that's, I would say, part of her job to make sure you're good, to make sure that emotionally you taken care of. You had a bad day at work, you should
yeah,
be able to come home and literally express yourself, express
Yes.
yeah,
yourself, talk about it, and then and then let it brush off, and things should be good, and it's the idea of having someone to talk to,
Yeah.
not just too busy doing other things.
hmm
I
Absolutely.
agree with you.
Yeah.
I have one question for you, Kevin.
Yes.
You mentioned that you're a single dad. So, as a single dad, with co-parents, what are the hands-on activity that you do with your daughter?
Uh, what isn't the hand what isn't the hands-on activity I do with her? We do a lot. She's into dance, she's into karate. Unfortunately with COVID going on, that had to slow down a little bit, but she's into a lot of things. She likes to do hair. I go with her to go take her to go do her nails. So she's very active. So I'm always behind her on her activities. Even with COVID, we're working from home. I mean, some people are fortunate to work from home. I'm one of them. So she's when I have her for the week, we're doing virtual learning. So hands on with the homework. And that's very important because nowadays education, we stress education, and the education system is not the same way when we were growing up. It could be a little bit more harder for kids, so you definitely want to be there, be available, and use all your resources to be there. So, and now it's the best time to be active with them because they're away from their friends if they're doing virtual learning like my daughter's doing. So you have to be a little bit more active with them.
Yes, definitely. That was great.
Thank you.
I have a question for everyone on this one. Like, fathers are role model to their kids, and I know you guys, coincidentally, you all guys have girls. So, what do you guys think? Why you think it's important to spend time with your kids, your daughters?
I mean,
Well,
it's
okay.
well, go ahead, Kevin.
I mean, I think it's important. Like, sometimes they get my daughter, I think out of all the girls, I don't know, Menji, I don't know how old is your daughter, but my daughter, she's 9 now. So there's so much out there, like so much things that you want to make sure that they're not getting into. Make sure
Right,
that you're
right,
that you're
right.
protecting
My
them
daughter is
from.
almost 9, so
Okay, so yeah, so you understand, yeah, like all
yes,
these
of
stuff
course,
online, these apps and stuff is just like
too
it's
much.
influencing. It's too much
it's a lot.
outside influences, and that's my thing
Yeah,
as well because you got the iPad, you got YouTube, and all this other stuff, and they're also influencing your kids. Now they have home learning. You're doing virtual learning from home. It's hard to pay attention and also doing your work as well because a lot of people are
yeah,
working from home, and it's not easy, man. It's
Right,
different.
right, yeah,
Different.
yeah. And one of the traits too that's very good too as a father, especially with girls, it's okay to be goofy, man. I play with my kids like I'm a little child, So it's like, and it's okay to be nosy too, And
oh
you
yeah.
get into what everything, I'm in the iPad, My daughter play PS4, so it's like. I'm always there looking like a child, looking like what she's doing. Because in the PS4, you could put a thing on, and then you talk to people. Like all the video games are like that now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
she be like talking to people, screaming. I'm like, what are you doing? So I'm over here like, watching and making sure that nothing else is going on.
Yeah,
Right.
but at the same time, don't try to be hard to be helicopter dads.
Noted. Yeah, and I totally believe like what Kirby was saying, and just saying that communication is key in a relationship. Like even with your wife and your kids, communicating with them, let them know, like having a heart to heart with them. It makes the conversation easier as they're growing up. It'll be easier for them to talk to you when they have an issue. You do it now when they're little. When they're adults, it'll be so much easier and less stressing. They'll give you a call out. They'll be more responsible. It implements responsibility.
Absolutely.
Actually, I have one question for you, Jeans. Do you believe that you are teaching your children responsibility by being a supportive dad?
Yeah, by basically from saying what I stated, communicating with them, setting limits and saying no to certain things to them, and holding the child accountable. I hold them accountable for anything that they do. Like if Cassidy does something, I hold her accountable for it. If Aubrey does something, I hold them accountable for it, knowing that there is punishment for whatever you're doing. So you have to be accountable for it. I establish and enforce rules that we agree upon. I don't like make rules and don't tell them why. I tell them why these are rules and this is what's going to happen. I don't just make it and then just make sure they follow it. I give them a reason why. I don't want to be a dictator. I encourage a child to give back in some way. Like always give back. Always be nice to people when you're going. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So that means being respectful and being also responsible. I assign them chores. I give them, I don't know, things that my parents did for me, basically. Yeah.
That's good.
Things that your parents did that you think that are good. Not everything that our parents did.
Yes.
Not everything that your parents did was great. So we take the values that are great.
Yeah. Right.
Also, what I do is I also do look for teaching moments. Teaching moments. When I get those and I it's like an opportunity for me. It's like the light bulb went on. It's like, woo, it's my turn, So to me it's those sticks to the child. As soon as they did something wrong and you caught them right then and there and you say, listen, this is what you do. I often, especially my older one, she hold on to stuff. When I look for those moments, like to teach, to mentor, to guide those moments. I look for,
Absolutely.
They hold on to stuff because, like my daughter, I will say something and she'll come back. Hey, Dad, remember you said this? Hey, remember you got to do this? Like she, wow, like yo, like you're slacking. You got to pick up. You got to do this. Like all three. The smallest can't talk yet, but I can tell from the look in her face. Like she's telling me.
I totally agree. Especially with what Benji's saying, like, the teaching part, teaching them. And we're also, as parents, believe it or not, we're also teachable as well. Our kids could teach us a few things because, they're young. They're fresh. They have a fresh mind, but certain things that they say, it's like, she really had a point. She really, what she said was very important, and I should really consider it. So we also have to be, as parents, we also have to be teachable as well, and we have to be open-minded to and receptive to everything, and not blind to anything.
True.
Yes, definitely. Let me ask you guys this question: is there such a thing about mom's responsibility and dad's responsibilities?
No, I don't think so. I mean, from my perspective, you should be able to do everything. Whether you're taking your kid to dance, you're taking them to karate, you're cooking for them. You have to be that person. You have to be that well-rounded person. There's no I don't want to say there's specific responsibilities for everybody. It's a shared responsibility. You know, it's not one person does this and the other person does that. No, if the one person can't do it, then you do it. You pick up and you do it.
Yeah,
That's my
it's
thoughts.
energy thing, you
Yeah,
know. Yeah, bounce off each other. You know, you bounce off each other. You know, whoever's available more, then do that. You know, whoever's not available, then do that. You know, so
yeah,
it's so things let's just say balance. You know,
yeah,
there is a balance.
Yes,
yeah.
You know,
balance.
yeah.
Yes, and parenthood. What about you, Jean? What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with these guys. He took the words out of my mouth. Basically. Anything I wanted to say, they basically said it. There is a balance, and I feel like as a father, there's certain responsibilities that you do have to implement for a child. Like for if you have a son, okay, you have to teach him the ropes. You have a girl, you kind of have to teach him the ropes, but there's some things that mom has to like take care of, like the
Right.
girl stuff, the feminine stuff. Like I can't teach that.
Right.
Like it's 50-50. I do want my daughter to know how to change a tire in a car, like not to be more independent, not to depend on her spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to implement that into my kids, but yeah, it's 50-50, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to like say anything, but there is also a thin line. You know, there is a thin line between mom's responsibility and dad's responsibility. You know, if you have a boy, then it's your responsibility in certain things. You know, we have to be very clear about that. And if you're a dad with a daughter, then there is a responsibility. There's moms that have to take care of that part. You know,
Yeah.
and it just, you know, it varies between what you have, you know,
Yeah.
whether you have a girl or a boy. You know, that thin line, we need to very be careful with that, you know.
Very true.
I
Right.
agree. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, in some cases, I mean, I don't. The only reason why I say it's kind of like it's open because in some cases you have. I mean, unfortunately, you have one in some cases that one parent is not available, so you have to pick up. You have to pick up the pieces and do. I know for you guys, you're together, and then like I said, I'm fortunate to have my child's mother in her life, so but I, just think about the other people that may not have that. So
Yeah.
now in some cases you
Right.
have to play both roles. So it's it's unfortunate in some of those cases, but don't be scared to do it. There's so many avenues out there for you to learn
Right.
to do it, and there's
Right.
other look into family members or other people that can help you because I have my aunt, she did it all by herself. So I believe that
Right.
it could be done by yourself and it could be done together.
Yeah,
Right.
True.
that's definitely true. Um, Another question. There's a saying that say happy moms make happy family. Do you believe that being a supportive father makes the whole family happy?
Um,
Yes, I do.
Why it takes you guys so long to get to the point?
We're like, no, we want to be happy.
Yeah, I don't want a headache. I'm not looking for a headache. So.
yeah.
We're like, is that a trick question?
Well, I think God built moms like that. You know what? A wife sets the mood in the house, man. You know, it just does. You know,
Yeah,
it's if the if the wife is happy, man, everything is good. I mean, we could do anything to get a house ready, to get a house happy. It's just not the same once mom is not. You know what I'm saying? It's just there are certain things. It's not for us. It's just theirs.
yeah.
They set the atmosphere, man. It's hands down.
True.
Thank you, as a mom. I really
I,
appreciate it.
I agree. Even growing up, mom is mad, that's it.
Yeah, man. Sure.
If mom is happy, it's gonna be a good day. If mom is mad,
Yeah,
make sure you go down the list. Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? Did I
that's
do that?
right.
Yes,
You
yes,
know.
yes. Um, and the other question I have for you guys, at the beginning, Jane, you mentioned that being a father doesn't mean like your life is over as a man, right? So how do you guys make sure that you take care of yourself like outside of fatherhood?
Do you want me to answer or? Okay.
Anyone can answer. Actually, I want to hear from all of y'all.
um, by implementing that, yes, granted, my life is changing. It is changing because now I'm responsible for a person who's a little person that's in my life who's very demanding, who wants my time all the time, or who's happy to see me once they see me when I get home. So, and I'm not worried about just my life. I'm now worried about my whole family's life, and everything that I do revolves around them. All my experience and everything. When I walk out that door, I have to come back home to my family. So yeah, I do feel like a little bit my life has changed. I do feel like all the desires and motivations and spontaneous urges that I used to have, I kind of stopped doing it. I pushed away from it and then I started pushing more towards my kids. I have to go to gymnastics. I have to go to their parent teacher conferences. I have to go into the little art programs. I have to be right there doing tea time with them, singing a little teapot, short style. uh,
Yeah.
so much stuff like, and it's for me, I feel like it's fun. It's like I'm being a kid all over again, and things that I didn't get to enjoy as a kid, I'm doing it with them, and I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Kevin? How do you take care of yourself?
I mean, being a single father, so I'm lucky to not have to, get up and worry what mom thinks, like the guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's good. I still interact with other people, but like Gene said, it's like even though being a single father, you still have those responsibilities. You still have those worries. You still have those, you know, in like before my daughter was born, it was like, oh, I could do this and I don't care. I can pick up and just go here and I don't care. Um, I could do whatever. It doesn't really matter. But and I think as you get older, the responsibility sets in. You have responsibilities. You're responsible for another human being, even if they're not with you. Every decision that you wake up and you make is not only affecting you, it's also affecting your child. So I think that's very important. So when everything that I do, every thought that I make, anything that I'm going to do, I have to take that into consideration. Even as far as like, when you're picking a job or where you're looking to live, all of that is very, very, very important.
True.
So I do, I mean, not to make it seem like you don't have I still go out. I mean, I think the biggest downer now is COVID. So you can't really go out. But like, prior to COVID, I still went out, I still go out. I still have,
Party.
yeah, I still have, the time to myself and, go out with coworkers, happy hour. And, you also have to
Still
enjoy
have,
life. You go to
yeah,
the gym.
Right.
you still have to treat yourself. You can't let
Yeah,
yourself.
you also have to take, yeah, you have to definitely do that self care. The funny thing is, like when I go get a haircut, my daughter notices it. She's like, "Oh, you got a cut." So they acknowledge those stuff. They pay attention to the littlest things. So you definitely have to take care of yourself because they're also watching that as well. So
Yes.
self care is very, very, very important.
What about you, Mensch?
Yes. So for me, it's just my drive is different, man. I look at results around me. If everybody's happy, man, I'm good. I'm in a good place. I have no worry about myself. And as a father, it's to give, man. You the source.
Yeah,
You the source, man. Is to give. Is to be there. So and nothing else matter. At the end of the day, man, if the kids grow and they do great in life, then you win.
yeah,
You did your job. So that's where it's at. It's we all trying to have the kids to go through where they don't fail. It's non-negotiable. So I have to be there. So to me, I'm not worried about me. So
Okay.
I'm not worried about me at all. You
So to close, let me see, we have two questions so far. I'm going to ask the first question. Patricia Desert from Facebook. She asks, how do you balance love for your kids and love for their moms? Because they also learning on how you treat mom as well.
I mean, when I
Oh,
first,
well, can I answer as a
Yeah,
single
sure.
father? You still have to. I mean, you still have to let your child know that the respect has to be there for the mom. So I think the most important thing is the respect. The respect that is portrayed or put in front of the child. That's the most important thing. Like you can't because then they're only going to adapt and pick up on that and think it's okay to do that. So I guess just for me, it's just the level of respect and always being respectful, no matter what the situation is.
yep.
That was my single point of view. But go ahead, guys.
One thing I like doing, it's, from time to time I'll kiss my wife in front of them, just to show love. I would be like, hey, I'll do it on purpose. I was like, hey, how you doing? How was your day? And I would go give a kiss on the cheek, a kiss there, and I will kiss them too. So it's like I'm trying to put something in their head there, to understand. Okay, this is it right here. This is love. This is it right here. I'm kissing them. I'm kissing mom, and so they see it. I make it as a, I don't do it all the time, but it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. So good.
I like that. What about you,
Mhm.
Gene?
Jim?
I basically do the same thing. Like every time when I go home, when I'm going to work, even though they're sleeping, I bless them with kisses. I kiss them when they're sleeping. I kiss them when they wake up. I do the same thing with their mom. I try to kiss them all the time in front of their mom, to the point their mom smushes my faces away, my face away. But hey, it's me showing love, and it's jokingly. We're always having fun. Um, I feel like honesty and having honesty in the home and being able to share things with each other, building that kind of relationship with your family, it makes, I don't know, love is, it's love basically. Like having that love, that feeling of love with each other. I don't know how to explain it, but we have it.
It's natural. It's
Yeah.
natural. I believe it because I'm usually on the phone with Gene and I hear him talking to his wife, and it's a beautiful thing when you hear the communication between them. It's very nice and it's admirable. So I believe it. They communicate very well. Sometimes Gene could be a little hard headed, but I can say that because that's my brother. But but it takes someone very strong like his wife to understand him. So that's very good.
Yeah.
Every Love has a question also from Facebook. She
Uh-oh.
said, isn't it also important for the girls to observe the dad as a handyman and expect it from their future partner?
I think so. I think it's very important. I mean, for myself, I think I'm handy. And I think Jalen have seen, my daughter have seen that, I'm handy. She also, and it's bad sometimes because I'm so cautious with her. She wants to help. And I'm like, no, you can't touch this. You can't do this. You can't do that. But I have to learn to stop that. So I think it's very important, even not only looking, but also wanting to be part of it, to allow them to be part of it because at a young age they'll learn how to, and that's how I learned. At a young age, my father was always doing handiwork, so I would always be behind him, chasing him, trying to do this, do that, do this, do that. So I think it's only important that you allow them, not only let them watch you, but allow them to also see you. or participate.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I feel like women are doing everything, and like women are. I can't stop. There's females mechanics. There's now a female vice president. So why would I want to be in the way of my daughter's dreams? Like they don't have to depend on their partner, their future partner, to do everything. They can do everything themselves. I want them to be independent. Like literally, like change a tire, like I mentioned earlier. Do things like when the car sounds like it's running funny. Hey, I got to bring it to the mechanic. I don't have to wait until it flat out stop on me. uh,
But
things that,
yeah,
yeah,
it's a great thing. It's a great thing to bring up. But we also, like, independent. We also must be careful. We want our girls to grow up to understand. Yes, they must be independent, but they also need a man.
yeah,
If we just do independent, then they won't see the need to have a man in their life. And if they do, there's a chance that they might not treat him good because they can do everything. So
yeah, yeah,
we must be careful. There is like something there that you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like with girls, like, okay, yes, they can be independent, but we adjust the dependency to their level where they understand that they also need a man, to get things done, you
Good.
know, which is great.
And that's good to know. That's good to know. My last question is, guys, how do you know you're doing a good job as a father? Like, who is evaluating you to make sure that you're on point in your fatherhood job? Are you evaluating yourself or you think someone else?
Yeah, to me, you ask question. You ask the wife question, the question every, almost, whenever you get a chance, babe, am I doing a good job? It is very important. What do you think I'm missing? What can I work on? And you will see it yourself, because a lot of times you get to a point in your relationship where the arguments are almost the same. They almost like almost the same, different problems, but there's an issue there you need to address. So you see it goes by. And the another things too is scripture. I go to church, so scripture for me is sometimes too very important. It's important all the time. So I do go through scriptures too, but that's another way. If not a scripture person, or anything, is to pay attention. What am I doing that's frustrating this woman? What am I doing that's making the kids mad, or what can I do differently? It's always something to work on. And if we keep at it, I think our relationship will always grow. This is where I evaluate myself. That's me. you know
That's good. That's so good.
Good.
I
Everyone
basically
has nothing.
I ask my kids like, hey, what do you? How do you think I like if I'm trying to discipline them? I try and like once the situation calms down, I ask them um
Make things
how can I
better.
do it better? Like how can I be a better father? I sit down with my wife and we talk, we communicate, we have a heart to heart situation where we ask each other like, hey, how do you think we handled this situation good? Do you think we can do better? Is there a better way to discipline our kids? Um, I think it all falls on communication, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think my daughter is very vocal. If I'm doing, something's right, she'll let me know. She has that personality that if things is not the way that should be, then she'll kind of put it out there. Um, she probably gets it from her mom, because if something's not going well, her mom would also let me know. So I think I don't think there's actually a tool to actually measure how well of a father you're being. I mean, I don't think there's ever going to be a limit to how the the best that you could be as a father. There's never going to be a limit because you're always going to want to achieve the next step. You know, you did this, so now there's something else to achieve. You know, they got through their grade level. Now it's time to achieve the next grade level. You know, they got through their dance recital. Now it's time to achieve the next thing. So there's never a measurement to it. But, you know, as long as you're there and you continue to give them the love and support that they need and they deserve, then, you know, there's no need to measure it. Like it just comes naturally. Like, you know, my daughter's 9 years old and I still like, I like, it's like, man, when she says certain things, I'm like, man, are you my child? Like, it's like, where's that coming from? But, you know, they cease to amaze you. Like every day is a new day and it's a new thing. So, you know, it's always a new goal every day that's set with them.
Right. Which is good. Yes.
The conversation is so good.
I know.
Like,
is there any more questions in the chat?
No, actually, that was the last question. We have to keep it on time.
Okay.
It was so good. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you for sharing, you know, your experiences, your knowledge, and it was so good to hear. And I hope you guys, everyone in the audience, get to enjoy this great conversation. And we can learn from other dad, or we can relate to some other dad can relate to you guys tonight.
Right.
And it's because it's very important when everyone hears someone else, they know they're not only themselves in a situation. So I'm really thankful for you guys for tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. It was a pleasure to be here. You know, to be in a great panel. You know, so which is great. You know, it's a good night. You know?
I think if I could speak for the fellas, we don't mind coming back. You know.
Yes.
if there's any follow-up questions, we don't mind answering it.
Yes. But you know what? I want to add two things. Before we go. As a dad, there's two deadly traits that we must, you know, avoid. You know, it's the self-centered dad and the dad that just think about money. You know, everything is money. You know, once you really focus in the money part, then you affect everybody around you.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody else is not happy because all you care about is saving money. You know, then, you know, the kids, you know, although it is good to save money, it is a great thing. I think everybody should save money, but it can't be the center of everything. You know, some guys, because, you know, I grew up Haitian, you know, the culture, it's all about, you know, who has the most money, you know, provide. We want security, but it depends on where you are in life. Sometimes not having money and then the environment that you raising your kids in, and the way you're raising your kids is good. You know, everybody's happy, but you don't have money, but that's okay. It doesn't stay like that forever.
Yeah.
So because us men, we do think present, we do think future, but we don't ignore a situation here too. You know, like the present situation we are in. We must understand that, you know, once you think about money only, it changes the perspective of everybody around you. You know, then your result will be different. You know, it's not gonna be the same with the wife. It's not gonna be the same with the kids. You know, and the self-centered dad, it's another deadly one. You know, that's the last one. A dad that thinks about himself. You know, I mean, am I gonna get the PS5 and knowing that, you know,
wait.
You know, you know, and knowing my kid is missing a food, you know, or can't go to school. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
You know, I don't have gas in the car, but I like the shirt. It's $300. I'm gonna get it anyway.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying? So those two traits are one that we really need to
Move away from.
rewire
Yeah.
ourselves, in order to be successful. We're gonna live scriptures out of we talking real. We are here.
Yeah.
So this is I think those are very good to avoid if you wanna be a good dad, or the best dad that exists.
That's true. I agree. I agree
Good
110%.
knowledge. Yeah. Thank you so much, Majalik.
All right.
You guys want to add anything else before we close?
Uh, I don't have anything else. I think, yeah, I think I'm good on my end.
Yeah, I'm good. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah.
Saturday night. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right,
guys.
everyone
Peace
again
out.
for being here with us, and see you guys in 2 weeks. And enjoy the night.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye.